Morning, dear student. Today we are going to start the chapter number 3 of the Indian economic development, that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization, which we call in short LPG, or somewhere we call it New Economic Policy NEP 1991. An appraisal. Appraisal here means an evaluation how it is beneficial for Indian economy and what are the negative and the positive impact of LPG, or popularly known as new economic policy. Yeah, new economic reform also you will find in some books. New economic reform, that is 1991. Now let us start from introduction. During these 40 years of the time, 1950 to 1990, in the 40 years of time, India though followed a mixed type of economy, but the role of the public sector or the government sector was dominant. The government have to main role to play. There was very much less development of the private sector during this period. Means the government believes in this period that each and every activity should be regulated, should be guided, should be initiated by the government. And at this time, at the period of 40 years of the time, the corporate sector, yeah, private sector, which we popularly call, was not so developed, was in immature condition. So government decided each and every private sector enterprise to nationalize after the decade of 1960. So they started nationalization simply here means to purchasing the assets from the private sector. So there was a huge investment in public sector and a very low investment in the private sector during this period. The dominance of public sector for about 4 decades led to establishment of various rules and laws which hampered the process of growth and development. During what we can say, during the 40 years period, what is expected from the public sector was not in the terms of growth and development, though we were able to create a sound industrial base, but the growth and development of the industrial sector was very less. Some economists believes that the public sector held Indian economy to achieve number first growth in saving have been increased during this period. Second, developed a diversified industrial sector. Earlier we were renowned for 2 or 3 industries, that is cotton, jute and iron and steel industries, but now almost each and every field of industrial sector we are advanced, diversified, that is. And food security. Earlier during the decade of 1960, we have the food scarcity, yeah, grain scarcity we can say, but due to green revolution we were able to solve the problem of this food shortage. Now reasons for economic, why government want to introduce the new economic policy or LPG. Number first, poor performance of public sector. As I have told you many times, the government cannot play a role of a businessman. In the 40 years period 1950 to 1990, in the 40 years period, public sector was assigned an important role to work for the economic development of India. However, except a few enterprises, the overall performance are very disappointing. Considering the huge losses incurred by the good number of public sector enterprises, the government recognized the need for making necessary reforms. Now, in the present time also, you might be knowing Air India or Indian Airlines, which were the major government undertaking, were in loss. Each year they gives a loss to the government. Same thing. There were many industries, many sectors which were giving continuous loss to the government. That was the first reason for introduce the new policy. Deficit in BOP. A BOP deficit arises when foreign payments are imports exceed foreign received from the export. You have studied in the macroeconomics. If our exports, if our total receipts are less and a total payment are more, or we can say if we purchase the goods and services from abroad more and export less, then it is called the deficit. Even after imposing heavy tariffs and fixing quota, there was a sharp rise in imports. Till the period 1990 we are importing, though we have the import substitution, then also we were importing many of the goods. On the other hand, there was a slow growth of export, though our export have been increased, was increased in this period, but the due to low quality and high prices of Indian goods in the international market, the growth of the export was very slow. Inflationary pressure. Third one is inflationary pressure. Inflation, we call it inflation when there is a continuous rise in the price of a commodity. During this period, uh, uh, due to increase in money supply and the shortage of essential goods, there is a general rise in price level, which was not beneficial for an economy. Remember, neither inflationary gap nor the deflationary gap was is good for the economy. So we find inflationary pressure at the time. Fall in FER, foreign exchange reserve. In 1991, foreign exchange reserve fell to lowest level and it led to the foreign exchange crisis in the country. Foreign exchange reserve declined to a level that was not adequate to finance import more than the 2 weeks. During this period, or in the year 1991, the FER, foreign exchange reserve, came to a very low level, so that we were only able to meet the payment of 2 weeks only. Just we can say at the time of at the present time of Pakistan, same condition was there in the year 1991. Second, to pay the interest that need to be paid to international lenders, which money our government have borrowed during this 40 years period, we have to pay interest for that. So we were unable to pay the interest, huge burden of debts. Now during this period, due to deficit budget, government borrowed the huge amount from the internal and external sources. So money from bank, public and from international financial institution, our debt was increasing. Inefficient management. Now also, if you will find the many public sector enterprises entrepreneur in management, you will find the inefficient. They are lacking efficiency and they are involved in the corruption. Due to these two reasons, the government sector or the public sector was in continuous loss. These were the 6 reasons which the 6 reasons for that government introduced the new economic policy. Now crisis of forced India financial help from IMF and World Bank. Now this FER reserve and the financial crisis arose in 1991, compel India to apply for the loan to international bodies, that is IMF, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank, which is popularly called International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD. To manage the economic crisis of 1991, Indian government approached to the IBRD, popularly known as World Bank, and IMF and received $7 billion as a loan. $7 billion. But the IMF and IBRD or the World Bank kept some condition for providing loan. These conditions were: number first, removing restriction on the private sector. The government have to remove the restriction on the private sector, reducing the role of government in many areas. The condition of the IMF and World Bank, I am telling to you. Third, removing trade restrictions. These three conditions were put by the IMF and World Bank. India agreed to the condition of World Bank and IMF and announced the new economic policy. India agreed to follow up the 3 points given, these first, second and third, and finally the Indian government got $7 billion as a loan. Now government establishes the new economic policy. Now you will find 2 points in the two main measures in the new economic policy. That is, first one is the stabilization measures. Second one is structural reform measure. These refers to, now stabilizing measures are short term measure. Short term means for very less time, correcting weakness of the balance of payment and maintaining sufficient FER. So first of all, BOP, correcting the weak point of the BOP and increasing the FER. First point. Second, controlling inflation by keeping the rising price under control, and the inflationary pressure which were increasing the price of the commodity should be controlled. That was the stabilizing measure, comes under 2. Now structural reform measure, it also these are the long term measures. Number first, it includes improving the efficiency of the economy, productivity. We have to increase the productivity. Second, increasing international competitiveness by removing the rigidityness in various segments in the Indian economy. The government rule and regulation should be avoided so that India also can compete with the modern industry of the world. Now government adopted the 3 policy, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. Now in the next class we will discuss all these LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization one by one. Thank